Hello, welcome to my panel. Have you seen this anime? I will be your host today, DJ Date Masamune. Just a few disclaimers before we get started. So I have business cards that I'll be putting up in just a second. It has my blog and my email address and everything. Also, feel free to contact me afterwards, or let me talk to me afterwards, whatever. We have suggestions. I usually have a little bit more time for this panel. I have more things I usually mention during this panel, but I cut it to fit the time slot that I have, which is totally fine. This is definitely just a really casual panel. The way I do panels in general is I like to view them as conversations for the most part. I like to see myself as somebody that I've been around the block for longer than I care to admit. So there's just a lot of things I've seen. I know I like to talk to other people who are kind of in the same place, and that's really the whole mentality with this panel. Just catching up on just try to connect with people on shows. That's I don't know if you've seen this. I've seen it. It's really awesome. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, especially anything that's 90s or older. Because more time passes, the more people get obsessed with whatever the current thing is, and then keep forgetting, okay, what about that thing that came out 30 years ago that nobody knows about, but I know about it, and I need other people to know about it before I go insane. So that is the whole purpose of this panel. So don't hesitate to come up to me after at the panel to talk, and also don't. Again, if you have any questions or any comments, just feel free to raise your hand. I will call on you eventually. So first section I'm going to start with, it's just, I like to call it hit and quit it. All of these series are going to pretty much be very short, 13 episodes. Probably what a lot of them are going to have is the issue of okay, you read the anime, which is 13 episodes, which a lot of times, back in the day at least, if it's a 13 episode anime, almost always it's a situation where it's okay, it's going to end in a really awkward spot, and this is when you just start reading the manga. And depending on what it is, good luck finding the manga. So always great. It's oh my god, the ending was so weird. Yeah, it keeps going. How much longer? What was ongoing? Well, how old is the series? A decade. Anybody that's into JoJo now, you're really spoiled. That's all I'm gonna say. Because originally all we had was that OVA series where it was just a snippet of part 3, but there's so much before that, and there's a lot after that. You have that now. Back in the day, no. So, and then it's there's other series nope, it never got its other season, or it got super popular. Now it just kind of died in obscurity, or just fun series where there was a period of time people knew about it and then just died. So anyway, getting started. So we got Black Blood Brothers and Black Cat. Yeah, this is the black slide. There was a weird, there's these two. I was watching Darker Than Black. That's how many black shows can I watch? Because this is hilarious. Yeah, ooh, that plot is amazingly good, by the way. I don't know if you're just, people like the joke is if you actually pay attention to, it's a lot of plot for no reason. Okay, it's a date sim series, even more plot. Anyway, not 18 plus panel. So yeah, so who here has seen Black Blood Brothers? Oh my god, that's more than I thought. So yeah, so this is another one of those vampire anime. There was a period of time when Otakon used to be at the old Baltimore Convention Center. I would see people cosplay him. I was so excited. Nowadays, if you cosplay him, everybody would be like, our card? No, it's Black Blood. They're both vampires, so this is very hilarious, but whatever. But yeah, we got the main character. He's looking, he's trying to protect his liege, who was also the person that turned him to a vampire. And he's just kind of in the city. They meet up with this basically this government girl, and we're gonna blank on names. So if you're what, if you know the name, feel free to yell at me, because I'm very good with faces, very terrible with names, at least in anime, because after a while it just blends. I don't know, you've seen one Akira, you've seen them all. Something with an S. There might be an S in the name. So yeah, main character trying to protect this liege. He got to the city, and the city has this kind of program to kind of basically usher in vampires, keep them protected from the rest of society, and make sure nobody knows about them, and make sure they're generally not causing trouble for everybody else. They keep them fed, all that. So he's there with his liege, meet up with this kind of government worker lady, and she's kind of escorting them to the scene, make sure they're protected. And then throughout the series, you get to meet like they have their little very small clan, which is just him and his liege, and then you meet some other vampire clans, and you find out all their drama and how they interact with each other, and it just kind of goes from there. And then it ends abruptly, and then again at that point you just read the manga because where it ends, it just what's happening, more stuff, read the manga, bitch, let's go. So, like, one of the main villains by the end of the series are the Kulun children. The vampires from that clan can turn other vampires into vampires from their clan. It kind of causes them to go berserk if they drink anybody with Kulun children's blood. And, like, that, they just introduced that, and then the series just ends. So, like I said, you read the manga. So then you have Black Cat. So who here has seen Black Cat? Yeah, yes, you are seen. So because I was a Fujoshi, I love Creed Diskinth. I loved him to death. He is so extra. But yeah, this is like early 2000s for the manga when it was released, 2005 for the anime. The anime actually ends in a neat spot. Every so often you will get these shonen series where the anime actually does finish in a nice spot. I believe the manga was also done at the time. I need to check that again. But like, yeah, they both got in a nice spot. So you're following the main character, Train Hartnett. I remember the names from this series because, of course, they do have trash. But yeah, your main character is Train Hartnett. Originally he was a part of this organization. I forgot like numbers, something with I forgot the organization name, but they're all assassins, and they basically kill off anybody that kind of needs to die to make sure that society is kind of being molded the right way and nobody's corrupting it. After a while, he meets Swin, who is the guy with the hat, and like I'm blanking on the name of the purple-haired girl, but he meets them, and they're kind of just like they're cleaners, and what they do is they're bounty hunters, but their whole thing is like they'll catch bounties. They won't kill them. They just kind of deal with them to catch them without killing them, turn them over to the police. Eventually, you'll like they meet up with Train to get him out of the organization. And Creed Diskinth has the problem with this. Has a little bit of a man crush. He trained him, and he just loves him to death. Totally not in that type of way. And like basically once Train leaves, he kind of goes berserk and you just after him to try to pull him back into the organization and just kind of follows their journey from that point. Train being a part of these sweepers, I think they're called sweepers, and I just treat Diskinth trying to get him back. The creator for this series also does To Love Ru. So if that looks really familiar, it's the same person. And it's still ongoing. Yes. Yeah, it is prequel. Okay, it makes a lot of sense. Because if you see the blonde girl, because I forgot what To Love Ru character, like they look exactly the same. Yeah, what? Golden Duck's awesome. Because the thing with the blonde girl is she is made out of nanomachines, Metal Gear reference. But yeah, she's made entirely nanomachines. She can turn her body into whatever she wants. And to kind of save her along their journeys. But yeah, thank you for giving me that. Because I knew it was the same creator, but I never looked more into it. I never watched To Love Ru. I just didn't. Got it. Oh, okay. So it's the same guy. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. But yeah, so like same person. Oh, that's great. That's great. Look, yeah, like it's like Black Cat's a really fun series. If you want like a fun shonen series, like something simple, easy to watch, like definitely recommend it. I like nothing against any series now, but especially with things like I'm gonna pick on a little bit, but no offense, like JJK or Jujutsu Kaisen, where it's just like so many shonen now have overly complicated plots. Like it can start off very simple and then it keeps going and just gets more and more convoluted. You're just like, I thought this was about people punching things really hard, and there may or may not be some hot old guys that I may or may not also like. But nope, it's got to be this intricate plot. It has to be super complicated. It's like, I'm not necessarily against that, but it's nice seeing things where it's just like, nope, it's simple. Pretty much the whole time it's easy to follow, and you won't have to do this whole like board, like cork board where you're connecting all the points. Like, well, this guy knows this guy, but he talked to this guy. This guy may or may not be this guy. We don't know. He probably is. This guy has sutures on his face, so maybe. Maybe I don't know. Like, yeah, you don't have to worry about that with this series. It's pretty simple. But it does have a problem with like the second season. They introduce a whole boatload of characters and they expect you to keep track of them. It's like, I like these guys, but you went from like maybe a cast of 8 to like a cast of like 30. And it's like, I'm not going to keep up with all these guys. I like this wolf dude that can talk. What's his story? We're not going to explain it. Cool. I still like him. But yeah, they introduce a bunch of characters. They're all pretty cool. They all kind of have like one note personality traits because we have that many characters, you can't really do that much with it. But like, other than that, like it has a pretty succinct beginning, middle, end. Ends in a good spot. Really fun. Recommend it. So moving on. So, oh my God, we're getting into high school trash era. Okay, let's. Yeah. Oh. Oh, geez. Chrono Crusade is just great. So Chrono Crusade I got that back when Suncoast was still a thing. I bought this from Suncoast. I went there regularly. I'm pretty sure I put one of them through college. I bought so much stuff through Suncoast. It was a grand old time. How many people here have seen Chrono Crusade? Okay. Oh, yes. So high school, like that was the tits at the point. The whole catch line for the series was nuns with guns. I'm like, you had me at that phrase. So it's set in 1920s era America. You have your main character, I think it's Rosette or Rosaria. Is it Rosette? Christopher Rosette, thank you. Because Rosaria is the other vampire show. I don't have that in here, but that's another one. So you have Rosette. She's with her devil buddy. They've contracted with each other. She kind of gets a lot of slack from like the older nuns because he's a devil. They're like, why are you working with him? It's just like, no, he's great. He's been helping me a lot. And like the main thing is with their bond is like they're trying to find her brother who just went missing, and they're just trying to figure out what happened. And you figure out like because there's a little bit of mystery that day too. Like, well, why did he go missing? Why did that happen? Why are you contracted with this devil? Because they don't really explain it for a good portion of the series. But like you find out like by the end of the series why that's happened. You find her brother she's looking for, and the main villains, all that. But it just follows her. They're all exorcists. You deal at first it's kind of like episodic, dealing with like her travels with her devil buddy, and then the rest of the nuns, and then kind of exercising different demons. Then they start introducing apostles, who are people who have like these special abilities. Each of them are blessed with different special abilities, and then they finally introduce like the main villain and all that. For this one, I do know like it ends in a nice spot. The manga does go a different direction. All I'm just gonna say aliens. The manga does go in a different direction, but the anime does end in a nice spot. Like she does find her brother. They reunite. There's a lot of drama with that, as you would expect. Soundtrack for this is really great because it's like 1920s era. Like got a lot of jazz. It's really nice. All the characters are pretty fun. It's a really fun series. It will definitely have its dramatic moments. Good shonen. I just recommend the series. It's good. It's another good show with good beginning, middle, end. Like I said, the manga does go into different directions from where the series ends. Honestly, where the series ends, it keeps it in a nice contained spot. Where the manga ends, it's like, oh, that's a direction. That's a direction. It's still okay, but like it goes different from what you expect. Then you have Night Hunters. So Vice Crew's Night Hunters. How many people here have seen Night Hunters? Okay. Oh, that's more than what I expected. So this for me was like prime shoujo trash era, where it's just like gotta get my boys who may or may not be in yaoi with each other, may or may not. So. This was a fun series. This also does have a follow-up series, like Vice Crew's Gluhane, which I know I'm butchering because German. I did not watch that. I had a thing with this era where I hate when series do that thing where you have your original series and then the next series goes in a completely different direction animation-wise. Like, that would bother me. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but for me, like, I can't. Either that or if they completely change the voice acting cast, that also would bother me. I'm like, I can't. It's just... Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't... It was at the time, like, the really meh animation for, like, the second series. I'm like, I'm just not. I'm just going to end it with Vice Cruise. So Vice Cruise, the whole thing with this bunch of pretty boys with problems. Pretty boys with pretty problems. So all of them are basically assassins are going to come up a lot in this panel. I don't know why. It just does. So there are also kind of like a League of Assassins. They were also kind of same deal where all of them were kind of given targets to assassinate that like kind of needed to die. At some point, they introduced a rival organization who are all women who, as far as I'm concerned, were all lesbians, but whatever. I feel like they introduced them to be... They're supposed to pair off nicely with them, but like, no, they're all gay. They're all gay. Don't even lie to my face. Like, everybody's gay in this. Stop stop lying. That's really fun. Like if you watch a lot of older series, sometimes what they'll do, especially in Gundam Wing, is they'll introduce like just opposite sex couples to pair them off. Like, no, we all know they're gay. Stop lying to me. Yeah, yeah. They clearly want you to ship these guys. Like, no, they're totally straight. I'll give you bi. I'm not giving you straight. I'm not giving you straight whatsoever. But yeah, so Vice Crew is like, all of them have tragic backstories because of fucking course they do. All of them also have like real life covers. Like Ron, who is the main guy with the red hair, he's like a flower shop worker in his cover life. There is like a girl that meets up with him that has a crush on him. It's like, that's cute. It's not, honey, this is like a shonen eye almost. Get out of here with your vagina. No, no. It's not that type of series. But yeah, it's a little bit dry, but definitely if you are looking for something to kind of rub that nostalgia, like that nostalgia itch or scratch the nostalgia itch, I definitely recommend it. It is dry. If you like pretty boys having pretty problems, so I definitely recommend it. There are better shows out there that are like maybe they're in gay with each other, maybe not. But it is something to, if you're looking at things to just like, I just want to add to my collection series, I do recommend it. It does end in a nice spot. It does wrap it up. They all do have more or less happy endings, considering like the setup. But yeah, it was a show. It was a time. That was a weird time where I found a bunch of random like Shonen Ai or Shonen Ai adjacent type series in Suncoast. Because back in Suncoast days, what's the other one? There's Suncoast FYE is another one. You could just go in and just go through the anime section like, I don't know, this is cheap, let me get this. Also back in the day when you could get like, I think at the time you could get the entire Chrono Crusade series for maybe 25 bucks. Like those Save Funimation box sets were the tits. Like it was great. Everything is affordable. And I'm very much, even today, like I like having physical copies of stuff. I'm just like, if you don't, that's totally fine. I'm just, as an IT professional, my thing is, what if the internet goes out? Oh, you're just effed. Cool, cool, cool. Absolutely. So like the Netflix, because people forget like things will go. Yeah. Like things will come on, go off, or like licensing issues, or there's so many older series, especially the old 90s era schlock, OVA schlock, like you can't find that. If you didn't buy the DVD at the time, I will get to you in a second, you can't find it. Now, certain people, like, never mind places, sometimes companies will go out, like I remember when Jinyan was a thing. There were so many anime I liked that was from Jinyan. Like, oh, this is great. They're going under, no. No, like Funimation has a monopoly now, but back in the day, there were way more options. If you go back further, you just had to buy from Japan. You just made do. Like, but yeah, so, oh God, I'm blanking. So Kitty Media, I think is one. There might be another name. There's a name I'm blanking on. Because sometimes you might see these companies that are still barely hanging in there, barely hanging on, where they'll get these licenses where it's like, it would have been gone in the dust forever, but they'll manage to save it. But like, a lot of older shows, like there's kind of like a 50-50, like either A, it's gone forever, or B, somebody rescued the license and you lucked out. Or C, it might be on like Netflix or something right now, but who knows how long it'll stay on there. So yes.
You kind of just said what I was going to be saying, but the thing with person's streaming services, you have what you watch, is you also have to trust that you'll eventually lose what you like.
Yeah. That's the trade-off, and it is nice because it's there, it's easy to access. And of course, with streaming services, it's the whole you don't have to deal with physical copies, you don't have to deal with DVDs. Because if you have a bunch of DVDs, everything's all fine and dandy until you need to move, and then it's just like, oh, I am also a figure collector. Everything sucks. I had my old apartment, like I had my walls plastered with all these posters, and then I needed to move. And that's why my current place, I have nothing up except for whoever the current forever husbando is. Besides that, I don't really have anything because posters are actually way more annoying to take down than figures. Because figures, after a while, it's like you wrap up in bubble wrap, you put in the box with a crap ton of packing peanuts, rinse and repeat. You keep doing. If you have all the original boxes, whatever. Posters. Because that's another thing, like posters, if that rips and that was like a one of a kind, too bad. No. So, what? Yeah, put in frame. Until you have way too many, way too many. That's the way it gets. But I do agree with putting frame. But yeah, there's that wall scrolls. Back in the day, wall scrolls were only like $15, $18 if they're pricey. Nowadays they're what, 40, 30, 40. I'm like, I don't know when this hype, this jump happened, but no, I don't like it. Even the mini posters nowadays, it's like 20, 25, 30, depending. It's like I'd rather just import it as a set because it'll be way cheaper. But anyway, move on for that. Next set. Okay, this is just gonna be the next slide is just gonna be the Shonen Eye slide. Oh, that was the period. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We're going back. So how many people here have seen Get Backers? Yeah. So Get Backers, just FYI. So the mangaka who is a dude, he's an admitted yaoi fanboy. So if you're like, yeah, so if you're like, wow, this is really, yeah, he's a yaoi fanboy because all of them in here pair up nicely, and then you have Akabane just chilling in the corner. Oh, I love my creepy men, but yeah, Akabane just had a thing for Genji. He just loved the Lightning King. So the Get Backers is the team. The Get Backers are Bon Midao and Genji. Kurata, blanking on the last name. So these two. So they had an organization called the Get Backers. They will get back whatever you lost if you hired them. With this show, it's one of the longer like shonen series, 49 episodes. And even though it's 49 episodes, the manga goes way past that. It's a beefy series. But yeah, so with the series, there's a lot of different organizations. Originally, and one of the main backstory elements is that Genji used to be the Lightning King. He had his whole gang. Everybody except for Akabane and Bon in this image used to be a part of that gang, and they're all like supported him. And used to be a total badass, but now he's just like a himbo. He's just pure himbo strength. That's basically using today's terminology. He's just pure himbo now. Versus when he was Lightning King, it's like, oh, your daughter calls me daddy too. Was basically that era for him. It was fine. But then Bond found him and fixed him, and now he's just pure himbo energy. But yeah, follows their journeys, mainly the Get Backers, and you meet up with these other organizations, his former like Lightning King members, and then you get to like oh god, whatever the name, it's not the Millennium Tower, whatever the name of that tower is in the middle of the city where everything is. It just but it follows their journeys, and you have different arcs. They introduce different characters like Himiko, other organizations. You have Akabai, who's his own like organization he's a part of, and just kind of follows the journey from that. The main thing that actually got me with the series is I have a thing for series where everybody has their own unique abilities. I really like that. That's just like a weird thing I like. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is another one that's like the more iconic one, where it's even more interesting and intricate with their abilities. But I just like shows like that. Like Bond's ability is, besides his like he has an ability where he basically put people under a trance, a complete trance, and they'll never know when it starts or when it ends. And you do that like 3 times a day. So a lot of things that Bond does, he'll still do things to trick people to think they're in an illusion, but it's not. It was just him just effing with them. He also has the ability where he has like the snake bite fist, where he can crush things very hard. I forgot the exact G-force pressure he can apply, which is honestly, realistically unnecessary. But whatever, he has that ability. Because it's like, when you think about it, it's like, what do you need to grip that hard? Nothing. You don't need to grip anything that hard. Even in a special scenario like that, you don't really, like very, very, very specific scenarios, otherwise not really, which is why it doesn't really get utilized that much in the series whatsoever. But yeah, so it's a fun, long series. All the characters are pretty fun. All of them have their things. Like I said, all of them pair up very nicely. Again, the mangaka is he's admitted yaoi fanboy. The manga does go way past this point as well. It does go in more directions. It gets crazy at points with the manga. Like, I recommend both this and the manga. If you need if you want to get that old, like, shonen eye, like, itch, you just want to get that going and scratch it, like, definitely watch this. It's really fun. Kikara Mile is the other really, really, really long series. I'm going to admit, I gave up with Kikara Mile after a while because it's so long. I feel like it goes past this point. Last time I did research, it goes places. Also Jinyan. But how many people here have seen Kyokai Amaro or read it? Yeah, okay, yeah. So it is a fun series. It is an isekai series, and it's my favorite because like the main character, Yuri, he plays baseball. Baseball is kind of like central to certain aspects and certain plot lines. But basically, one day, Yuri's like playing baseball. He goes to the bathroom, and then he gets flushed down the toilet into another world. I'm like, you had me at flush down the toilet into another world. Okay, I'll buy this series. I'll buy it. He gets flushed down the toilet because winds up into isekai to another world. And then like he gets there and he finds out, oh, you're the Demon King. So he's like a reincarnation of the former Demon King in this this place. And it's another one of the series that kind of plays around with like foreign customs being different. There's a lot of things that are like, oh, if you do this, like for the human world, like it doesn't mean anything, but for the demon world, it means this, which is how he winds up accidentally in a marriage proposal to like the main one of the other main characters, I think Wolfram. So yeah, so then it just kind of follows the journey from there, where they're trying to awaken him as the Demon King, awaken his like former life memories, and you have all these other guys who are also protecting him as like the former Demon King, and like again trying to awaken his memories. And it's really episodic after that point for the most part. You do have your arcs, depending on who's involved, but for the most part, it just kind of goes from that point, and it goes and it goes and it goes. Like the original like DVD series, if you bought the full series, is 78 episodes, but it goes past that point, and I'm almost certain it goes past 117 episodes. It just kind of goes. Also, with its plot line, it kind of can just go forever. The thing with the Kyokai Mile, like if you are like, how many people here are like yaoi fanboy, yaoi fangirl, showing the eyes? How many people like that? If you don't, that's fine. Okay, you do. Yeah. So the thing with this series is it's the most frustrating pairing setup where it's a bottom with another bottom, and it's the most infuriating thing to watch. And nobody will make the move. I'm just sitting there losing my mind, like, somebody needs to make a move. I don't care who, just do something. What about you? No? You know? Oh God, I can't. So yeah, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I gave up after a while, because I'm like, I cannot. Because like after a while, as I age, as my tastes refine, and I become more of a degenerate, like I need more somebody's taking action. I don't care about the bottom, the prototypical bottom top setup, but if it's bottom, and like nobody's taking any moves, not necessarily sexual, just to move the relationship forward, I'm gonna lose my mother effing mind. So I just gave up after a while. Like it is a fun series. I do recommend watching it to a point, but like you will get to a point where it's like, okay, I get the shtick. It is a comedy series. It is pretty funny, but just after a while, it just drags. So, but that is there if you want to watch it. So next series, this series, if people know this, great. So Samurai Deeper and Angel Links. Yeah, so how many people here know Samurai Deeper? So yes, I love this series so much. I bought that wooden box set at Suncoast. I love it. The soundtrack for this is amazing. Like Demonized Kyo is amazing. If you want like another kind of like historical fiction series, definitely recommend this. It's really fun. Early 2002 it came out, 26 episodes. Also super recommend this manga series. For the longest time, this was one of the only manga series that I was reading that wasn't yaoi. What a time! I love Samurai Deeper so much. So with the anime, you follow the main girl, Yuya Shina. She is a bounty hunter. She is looking. So okay, two things for this panel. A lot of series, bounty hunters and assassins. Don't know why. Comes up a lot. So she's looking for her brother. And she runs into this character like Kiyoshiro, who is a medicine peddler. So they kind of just head off and kind of just traveling with each other a little bit. And then at some point they get attacked, and then all of a sudden it's like there's like a personality shift, and now Kiyoshiro Mibu becomes demonized Kyo. And then he just brutalizes everything. And then you find out, like, okay, you have demonized Kyo and your Kiyoshiro Mibu, they're sharing the same body. And it's like, why are you sharing the same body? Well, funny you should ask. I am also trying to find out why I'm sharing the same body. He's trying to get his original body back. So it kind of falls to both of them. One of them's trying to get their body back. One of them's trying to find their brother, and it just goes from there. You meet other historical figures. You meet other people of the Sonata Brave 10, that like myth and lore. If you love historical fiction, if you love that type of deal, like definitely recommend this. The manga goes in it follows the manga to a little bit, but then the manga definitely goes a completely different direction. Like in the anime, they like whenever somebody's like a demon, they're literally a demon. They will fight like literal demons. Like you'll fight somebody, and then all of a sudden they'll have like a mode shift, and now they're a demon. In the manga, they were like demons because they fought so viciously, but there was never really any demons until you get to the Mibu clan and things get complicated. But yeah, the anime it's still really good. I really recommend it. I also recommend getting the soundtrack if you can. It's really fun. The opening for this is solid. I had a lot of fun with this series. If you love like shonen series and like samurai fighting stuff, definitely give this a watch. Okay, they have Angel Links. Who here knows about Angel Links? That's more than any audience I've ever done. It's just so Angel Links is in the same world as Outlaw Star. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about this. Some people don't know about Outlaw Star, which is always a tear. It's all the tears. But yeah, Angel Links is in the same world. They're their own little organization, and they kind of run their own missions. There is one episode where in Outlaw Star, Angel Links was there at the same time the Outlaw crew was there. I am blanking on exactly which episode it is. It's definitely an episode where they're reported at one of the space stations, but they do pop up like one episode. But yeah, you follow the main character, and she's just kind of going on her own journey with her organization. It's really episodic until you get to a point where you find out more about her backstory and what's the deal with her. And because she's a total badass, she's the head of this organization, and it just kind of goes from there. It's 13 episodes, but does finish nicely. I do recommend watching this if you want to see more of an expanded universe for All Star, but it was fun while I was watching it. Yes.
I don't know what Outlaw Star is.
Mm.
Do I have to watch that first to watch Angel?
No, you don't. It is its own separate thing. Yeah, you should. Yeah, like you should absolutely. Outlaw Star, I love to death. Yeah, right. So, like, just to pause a little bit. Outlaw Star is great. They did have that on Toonami for a good bit. It was Outlaw Star and like Gundam Wing at one point they had, and like Outlaw Star and Dragon Ball Z at one point. But like, Outlaw Star is great. Like, Cowboy Bebop is awesome. Everybody loves Cowboy Bebop. I love Outlaw Star. I was always that person like, cool, Cowboy Bebop is great, don't get me wrong, but I love it to death. And it's just, it never really got all that much of a hype. And I know, honestly, I know you are, if nothing else, definitely of legal drinking age if you like Outlaw Star. I'm just gonna put it that way. Outlaw Star is it's great. It's great. Also, like it's another kind of a space adventure type series, but they actually have aliens, and it's way more fantastical and science fiction-y. Whereas All Star is literally space. I mean, Cowboy Bebop is more space western. Like, yes, it's futuristic and everything, but if you like westerns and you like space, Cowboy Bebop is going to be your shit. Also, jazz. Outlaw Star, if you like fantastical shit, like stars, Star Trek, you like the alien races, you like the different things happening, like watch Outlaw Star. It's a really fun series. I had so much fun with that. It's really great. All the characters are great. Like, if you watch it now, there are definitely going to be some things in there that today's standards are not PC, especially anything dealing with Fred Lau. But like, it is a yeah, yeah. Oh God, Asia Clan. I love Asia Clan to death. Yeah, there's certain things that pop up where it's like, you would get canceled on the artist formerly known as Twitter today if you try to do that. But at the time, great. It's 90s cheese. I love it. But you do not need to see that to know Angel Links is its own separate thing. It just helps to know about both. But yeah, if you want to like kind of watch something else in the same universe, I do recommend Angel Links. It was a fun watch. It's not as it does has it's an action series. I will say it's not as action packed as Outlaw Star, but definitely watch that if you haven't had the chance. But yes. There is a third. Oh, I probably know if I like looked it up. I'm gonna try to not. Oh, nice to know because I'll watch that out of spite. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things. It's like what? Like yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, is this? Yeah. 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 Oh, okay. All right, space. Okay. We're gonna randomly not Google, but Google though, because it's like I just love all the old things. It's just random, like, oh yeah, this was like in the same universe as Alice. I'm like, what? Okay. What the? Oh, I'll find it. I'll find it now. Add that to this panel. But yeah, but like, yeah, if you haven't, like, who here has not seen Outlaw Star? Has not. Okay, you definitely should give it a watch. It's very fun, very, very 90s. It is a great series. Got a great soundtrack. Everything about it is good, in my opinion. Again, it's like if you want the more fantastical side to like Cowboy Bebop, because to me those are always the two space shows. Like, definitely give it a watch. It's a shame it never really took off as much as Cowboy Bebop. I always love talking about it and like selling the crap out of it and then connecting with other people who love it. Okay. Next slide is going to be random show trash. So yeah, these two series. Yeah. So Red Garden. How many people have seen Red Garden? Yeah, another kind of magical girl deconstruction series. It was very interesting, very artsy. It goes places. So the first part of the series, like it's 22 episodes in OVA, is in a decent spot, but it is a mystery anime. So basically, with these girls, at first they had nothing in common. They all go to like the same really prestigious school in New York that's on this like island. They all go there, and one night they're like all like a mutual friend of all of them has a party. You go there, and then like kind of events skip on, and then they kind of just wake up, and you find out it's like, oh, when you were at that party, all of you died, but then we're also resurrected, and now all of you have these abilities. And none of them have like the memories for that specific night. They remember the lives before then. They just don't remember the exact events of that specific night. So from that point, the series just kind of goes on and tries to explore like what happened, why do you have these abilities? It introduces like an organization that deals with them, that helps them kind of like deal with like the fact that they have these abilities and basically what they turned into. There's these other monsters that are like the usual basically jobbers that they have to fight, and like it basically kind of explores that entire mystery revolving around them, the academy, because the academy is involved in this as well, and basically, okay, our friend died that night, like what, or like something happened to him, like what happened to him, why did this happen, and like just trying to solve that out. The OVA is like way in the future, which is kind of a spoiler, after the events of the anime series. It's really like kind of like it's just a really low energy deconstruction magical girl series, because it's technically a magical girl, but very like it's not like magical girl where they can do literal magical powers. It's like think Captain America, where it's like they have super social like abilities, but it's not like they could do magic or anything like that. So if you're looking for like a really casual like mystery series, I definitely recommend it. The OVA is really kind of fun too. Princess Resurrection. How many people have seen that? Great. It's a fun show. Definitely very much episodic, really funny. Every like for like the first like maybe 10 episodes, they kept adding every other episode they'll add more to the main cast, and then after that it's kind of just, you know, episode like monster of the week type deal. You have your main character who is just a princess. She just moved into town. She's moved into this creepy mansion on the top of the hill in the town. She has her like tiny robot made butler who's like just pulling this massive cart with all of her stuff, and she's sitting on top of it. You have the main character whose name I'm blanking on. He's just kind of just watching this. He thought she was cute, I believe, at one point. At some point, while she's kind of just making her way through the city to like this creepy haunted mansion, like rebarb that was like in this construction site, it gets detached from like the whatever machine that was holding it. It kind of falls, and to save her, he like jumps and pushes her out the way, and he gets crushed and killed. But then she resurrects him because she has that ability. And then like the only thing with her ability is like, okay, I can resurrect you, but like it only lasts for so long, so you're gonna have to literally live near me, or else you're gonna actually die and die for real. So basically every so often she'll basically re-up his resurrection, and he kind of just becomes her unofficial new like butler basically. Like at first he's like a real jobber. He's just total simp energy. He has no abilities. He's just kind of really boring. Has nothing going on for him. As the series progresses, even like past the anime, more so in the manga, he does get more badass. He does kind of come into his own, but like for the first like a lot, he doesn't really do that much. He's not annoying or anything, but like all the other people that joins the team are more badass. Like at one point they have like a half werewolf join them, where her hands become wolf hands, and that's it. That's the only thing that's wolf. She's really bad. She's really fun. You have, like I said, you have this tiny made like robot butler who has all the strength and is total badass. She has a sister robot that she's probably better than. The little maid robot, all she says is Huga or Fuga, depending on who you're talking to, how they decide to translate it. There's a vampire that joins the group after a while, and there's like one other character I am blanking on. If you read the manga, you find out that she's a part, like she's like close. She's in a part of this family where whenever there's somebody next in line for succession, like it gets really violent. They will start offing each other to be the next one in line to rule their kingdom. You find out in the manga that she is a phoenix, so which is why she has the resurrection ability. And one of the reasons why she moves to this town to basically stay away from all the drama of her family trying to kill each other off to be the next one to rule their clan. And she's just kind of trying to vibe in this other area, but like they'll keep sending people after her, which is why she keeps getting attacked, and which is why you keep having a monster of the week kind of happen with the series. So moving on from that, we got this is interesting. So we got our lesbian slide. Both of these are Yuri. How many people here have seen Kanazuki no Miko? Oh, oh, it's so handful. So Kanazuki no Miko. The thing about this is basically Shrine Maidens and then Mecha. So it's a Mecha series. You just want a random Mecha series. So you have your girls. They're both wind up being basically destined lovers. You find out later in the series, not a huge spoiler. Should have said some of these might get spoiled a little bit because reason, whatever. So they both basically in the series they do start to develop a relationship with each other. But one was kind of like a shrine Miko, and it's just fighting this war against basically the next of Orochi. I believe they are called the next Orochi. Like so, Yamato no Orochi. That is like a Japanese mythical figure. It's the eight-headed snake. It's eight heads and eight tails, but they're connected. It's really weird. But like, yeah, so how they represent them in this series is like each head is represented by its like own person, and they have their own mech, and they'll do mech battles against them. So you're just kind of going through the series. You're fighting them. You find out that they're kind of like basically like they're destined reincarnated lovers, and this is kind of like a cyclical process that happens, unfortunately. Not that time itself is cyclical, it's just they just keep reincarnating and just fighting the same battle over and over again. It is a fun series if you're looking for a real casual like shoujo eye. Like I definitely recommend the series. It was fun. The opening is a total banger. I love that opening to death. It is great, and it does have fun mech battles. It's a little bit dry, but it's only 12 episodes. It does have a nice, neat ending, but is something to watch if you're looking for something simple. And they have Soko no Strain. How many people here have seen Soko no Strain? Okay, great. I like that. Yeah, this is a fun series. It's like we're gonna see what I'm gonna throw things on this panel. We'll see what happens. So Soko no Strain, I like to consider this a watered down Gunbuster. I believe is the first one. I forget if it's Gunbuster or Diapers Buster. So it's Gunbuster. Okay. I was like, the names mean nothing, but I know it's two different series. So Gunbuster, I like to consider this a watered down Gunbuster situation. There is a little bit of time dilation hijinks that does occur with the series, but you're following the main character. Her brother like just goes off to fight this enemy force, which is like I believe it is the Strain, and he goes and he just never returns. So she joins the same like academy that he was a part of, basically in the process to join the force that she would need to be in to find them. She joins this academy so she can start piloting these mechs that she would need to do to potentially go find him. And then she comes across this like doll that she would need because all the mechs, you need like this doll that you need to pair with in order to pilot the mech. It's weird. I'm going off memories because I watched this back in college days. We're not going to talk about college days. We're not going to talk about how long ago that was. But yeah, college days, like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing for piloting their mechs. But she pairs off with this thing, but because originally she wasn't going to make it into the academy. She almost wasn't able to become a pilot mech, but she found this one thing, and then she was able to basically BS her way into the academy and be able to do things. And then she just goes from there where they're fighting the Strain. You find out a little bit more about them, and you're really just trying to find your brother. It has more or less a neat ending. It's a little bit ambiguous, but not as ambiguous as some of the other 13 episode series that are in this section. So if you're looking for something that's like a quick sci-fi thing, like I said, so like a watered down gunbuster with certain plot elements, I do recommend this. If you're trying to fill out, especially if you like space opera-ish type anime or any kind of sci-fi things, I would recommend this. But it's a little bit dry and does leave a little bit to be desired. Some of the characters are a little bit, they could be developed more. It's not the worst, not the best. It's okay. From here, we have more of we got a classic, we got my other favorite. So Zombie Loan, how many people here have seen Zombie Loan? Yeah, okay, more than I've expected. So Zombie Loan, 13 episodes came out like mid 2007. So like starts with this girl. Like, so you have your main two characters. I'm gonna be real. I'm blanking on their names. Like I said, I know plots, I know characters, I know faces. Just names always are the things that the first to go. So she runs into these two guys. She has this ability that she can see black lines around people's necks. The darker the line is, the closer they are to death. If the line is black, either they're about to die or they're dead. So she finds these two guys. She sees that there's a black line around their neck, and she's like, what is this? And you find out that they are both zombies. And the thing with them is like they're kind of a pair where for whatever, like you find out later, but for whatever reason to her originally, their hands are swiped. Like one was a sword user, one's a gun user. Like the white haired dude's a gun user, the other one's a sword user. They swap hands, and that's a whole plot thing. It's weird. They explain it later. It is a weird stuff. Some of these explain it now. It's like, wow, what am I? I feel like I'm on ass to explain this. But yeah. Yeah, what am I watching? Like, it kind of just falls her dread. Like, they do recruit her into their team because it's a whole thing, and it's a whole, like, kind of collection of people that they deal with different supernatural things that happen, like, in the area, and they just deal with them and just, like, deal with them, either defeating it, more or less exercising it, or having them join the team, whatever it is, because at one point they basically get, like, a wolf to join the team. It's not a werewolf. It's like a fantastical demon wolf. I forgot exactly what type of yokai thing it is, but it joins her team. But yeah, she kind of helps them because her ability is very rare, so it makes it easier for them to basically find targets because it's like you can see if who's dead or not. That just makes her job a lot easier. So she kind of just sticks with them, and she also owes them a debt because they save her. It's like, okay, we saved you, so you owe us like what, like 50K or something, some absurdly high number. So she's kind of trying to work off this debt to them, and also like do odd jobs for them. And because she has this ability, she can also help them with their missions, and just kind of goes from there. The manga, of course, goes way past this point, but yeah, like it gets you started. It is a fun series. If you like supernatural style series and like supernatural hijinks, I definitely recommend this. And then you have Gungrave. How many people here have seen Gungrave? They did show this on TV when G4 TV used to be a thing. They showed this on this. Yeah, it was Gungrave and it was Magical Arcade Abinabashi. Yeah, that's like I'm like this is great. It was that. There was another weird sci-fi. There was like several series I saw that was on that channel. What? Yeah, Betterman's another one that's like nobody knows about. Like this is weird. I love it, but it's yeah, 8 Man. Yeah, there's a lot of weird anime. Like it was on TV. I swear, G4 TV used to be a thing. It was that. Never mind when G4 TV was a thing and Tech TV was a thing. They whatever. Fun times. So Gungrave, if you like basically mafia style stories and betrayal and backstab, I recommend this. It's very good. It's a very good plot. It's very interesting, lots of backstabbing, lots of like, you think this guy's a great guy. It's like, no, he actually does this. But you follow the main character is Brandon Heat. He was best friends with Harry McDougal or McDowell, something like that. Harry McDougal. What? Oh, it is McDougal. So Harry McDougal. So when they were kids, were like, early young adults. They were great friends, but at some point, Harry McDougal betrays him to become like to join this mafia organization, and he basically kills Brendan. But then Brendan, through science and sci-fi hijinks, basically more or less gets resurrected and gets all these abilities and becomes this awesome like badass, and basically is trying to get revenge. And you follow him and this other girl that kind of joins his team. Now, Gungrave's timeline is really weird because you have this anime. There are like at least 2 video games, and there is a visual novel. I think for this, it's like the video game first, I think, and then the anime, and then the visual novel. There's also, I feel like there's been another game recently, or I could be like, I don't know, there's 2 games. But yeah, you can play those games. The games are decent-ish. It's product of the time, but the anime is really good. I recommend this. I do recommend reading the visual novel. It is fun. But yeah, it's definitely fun. The only thing that kind of sucks is Brendan Heat is a man of very, very, very few words. I think in the entire anime, maybe twice. Maybe like 2 words he said anything. But it's like he's a good character. You get a lot of emotion from his actions and everything. But yeah, he does not talk all that much. But definitely a good series. I highly recommend that. So that was actually the pro list. This is the main list. I usually have 90 minutes for this panel. I originally didn't have any panels for this con. I've been going to this con for at least 10 years, which is wild. But yeah, I start going to this con 4 panels. This would have been it's one of those things you don't feel it, and then it's like, Oh yeah, like because there's a thing I do with a certain group of friends, and it's like, oh yeah, this is our 10th anniversary. I'm like, what do you mean 10th? We mean 10. Shut up, shut up, shut up. I don't want to feel the years. But yeah, like I've been doing panels since 2012. So we're just gonna not think about it. But yeah, this is. But I originally didn't have any panels for this con, but then at the last minute, the panel person's like, "Oh, we could do this for you." I'm like, "Yes, let me talk about old nostalgia feels. Let's go." But yeah, so this is the actual proper list. So the first thing on this list is Gunsword. Yeah, Gunsword. How many people here have seen Gunsword? How many? So Gunsword for me actually was what got me to stop disliking Mecha because I used to hate Mecha. I used to totally be one of those people. I used to be one of those people. All Gundam is Mecha. All Mecha is Gundam. I saw this. I didn't know it was a Mecha. I saw that it was this and Full Metal Panic. It was these two shows. Yeah, I saw this, and that's why I'm like, oh, this. Okay, not everything is like this. And this is ages ago. I was in high school, so if you're like, how could you? I was real young. I did not have. I didn't was in my own place forever ago. But yeah, Gun Game was one of the. It's a mech series. It's very fun. It's like all of them. Like basically, you follow the main character. We're gonna randomly blank with names again. So the main character is actually the guy in the background, Ray Lundgren. I remember him because I had the biggest crush on him. So also the dub for this is very good. Again, this is Ginion when Ginion was still a thing. Dub for this was phenomenal. Ray Lundgren is voice acted by Liam O'Brien in the dub, and I love Liam O'Brien. Liam O'Brien does Gaara in the dub for Naruto. He does lots of other things. He does more video game roles now. He used to do a lot more anime back in the day, but now it's just pretty much game only. So you're following the main character. Both of them have a similar plot line, but the main character's in the back. He's trying to get revenge because this character called the Claw killed his bride-to-be, and he's trying to get revenge. I think it was literally on their wedding day. Yeah, it was on their wedding day because the clothes he wears is his tuxedo that he was wearing on the day we were going to get married. And then Claw came in, killed his wife-to-be, and he's trying to get revenge. And it's called Von of the Dawn. This is his nickname. He has his mech wherever to activate his mech, which is literally summoned from the heavens from a fucking satellite. He has this hat. There's a ring in it. He'll put his finger in it. He'll spin it, and I forgot the phrase. Like Chesto, I think was the phrase. And then satellite from the heavens. The camera will just flash to like the satellite. You're like, what the fuck? Opens up, like mech shoots down. That's his mech. I'm like, okay, you have me. You got me. I'll watch this whole series. Very fun series, great soundtrack, very kind of Western sounding, but the opening is phenomenal. I really recommend this. Like, I'm gonna be real, when you meet who the Claw is, it's kind of a letdown, but the rest of the series, very solid. I love it to death. I highly recommend this. So, next series, which is fun. I love this series so much. So you have Gokusen. There is also a live action. The live action for this is also pretty good. How many people here have seen Gokusen? So, nice. So, this is a very fun series. You basically have this lady. She is basically mob boss. She's a Yakuza princess. She's hanging up her Yakuza, but she really wants to be a teacher. She just wants to be a teacher. So she goes to this delinquent high school, teaches the school. Like, they keep trying to F with her because they keep trying to, like basically gross her out. But, like, they don't know, like, no, she's a Yakuza. Like, you can't do anything to her. She doesn't care. You can't chalk her. And she has to keep pretending don't draw, like, at one point drew her on the chalkboard, like, huge tits, and she came and she's like, whatever. And they were just kind of looking at her like, she's not doing anything. She's like, what? Oh, no! Wow, how could she do that? And she's just trying to kind of fit in and not give away the fact that she's like, I know, guys, I get it. One of the characters, I want to say his name is Shin, the one with the red hair. Like, all of them kind of more or less have a crush on her, but definitely him. The thing is, his dad is like the police chief, and she's just like, every time she sees cops, she kind of freaks out because like, cop, no, opposite direction. But like, he kind of develops a crush on her, and after a while, she realizes like, oh, your dad is this guy. Oh, I have to kind of avoid you, which kind of sucks because he definitely has a thing for her, and he does his best to kind of like help her out and stuff. But like, very wholesome series. It's really funny. Love it to death. If you need something, if you need to laugh, which you probably totally need to in these trying times and this recession and the world seemingly ending every other day, definitely recommend this series. It's really fun. But yeah, so moving on from that. Yeah, Betterman is in this panel. So Betterman, again, G4 Tech TV is one of those shows. It's just on it. It's really hard to describe, but I'll try. How many people here have seen Betterman? Okay, awesome. Like, oh, it's more than usual. So Betterman, This is another fun theme. Yet another girl trying to find her long lost brother. He went to, I want to say it was Africa, but he went to somewhere not her country to kind of go explore some ruins, and he like never came back. But all of a sudden, like after years, this guy popped up who looks exactly like her brother. So she's just trying to track this guy down. Like, who are you? You look exactly like my brother. Are you my brother? Are you my brother? And she's just trying to figure out that. And they call him Betterman. And you're like, what the F's a Betterman? And you find out what that is, but like it's just kind of following that whole thing. And when they explain what a Betterman is, it's like I still don't know what a Betterman is, but it's something with chakra. It's weird, but yeah, it's if you want some weird mystery series where things kind of like just goes, I do recommend this. It is fun. It is 90s cheese. If you're trying to like basically build up your old series list, like I definitely recommend this series to you. So the next one is my personal favorite. The next one got, because I don't really care for slice of life anime. This one is definitely always going to be my top tier favorite. So I Might Meet Strawberry Eggs. I love I Might Meet. It's so adorable. I love this so much. How many people here see I Might Meet Strawberry Eggs? Okay, awesome. It's so fun. Also, this is another one that I really recommend trying to get the DVD series for this because so the basic backstory is you have this dude, he moves into the state, he moves into this apartment, like he really wants to become a teacher. But the only school in the entire area you can teach at is this all-girls school where they won't allow any male, like they recently just started integrating in some males, but they definitely won't allow any male teachers. So it's like, great, he really wanted to teach, that's his dream job, and he doesn't know what to do. But then his apartment landlord's like, listen, what if we dress you up as a woman? Like, what if we dress you up as a woman, and then you go teach at the school? And then that's what happens. So like that is a dude, the one with the choker, Matt like changes his voice so he sounds like a woman, and like he goes to school and teaches, and it just kind of goes from there. Now the thing is, because all the characters in his class, like all the students in his class, all of them are characters. They all get developed. Even like for 13 episodes, it's a good series. Like it has the beginning, middle, end, has kind of a bittersweet ending, but it's very fun. But like in the DVD series, or if you buy the DVDs, every DVD they have extras. They have an extras menu where they give every character, they give a little bit of a bio, and they all have little interactions, and they basically builds up the characters more for the extras. So it's one of those things like this is why I love DVDs, because back in the day, DVDs used to actually make an effort. They will actually give you things that will make you want to buy the series or buy the box set because it gave you all these extras. Like nowadays, every so often maybe, but for the most part, they don't really do as much, and it's just a real disappointment because I really missed that back in the day because that's what made me really like buying DVDs because I used to love getting the extras. That and the Geneon previews. Oh, Geneon previews. Those are the days. So another one that was another favorite from Geneon. This was my favorite seinen series ever. I love Tenjo Tenge so much. So I'm just going to do this. These were my favorite seinen series. I love both of these. This is my childhood because I had a huge seinen era. It was this. I started Berserk around the same time. I traded with another friend. I loaned them Tenjo Tenge. They loaned me Ikki Towson. It was an era. It was a time. That was my seinen time. But yeah, Tenjo Tenge, very dramatic. Like Tenjo Tenge has a surprising amount of depth. It's one of those kind of fighting school type anime where seemingly all they do at school is fight. There's a billion and one clubs, all of them represent different fighting styles, and like it's just kind of follows like at first the main character, something Shiro. What's your name? Main character goes here. His main goal is to beat up a bunch of as many people as possible to establish dominance, because of course you do. He goes there, he makes maybe 30 students, and he gets his ass kicked by this one club, and then it kind of just goes from there. Joins this. Also, Bob Makihara, who is a black dude, just big burly black dude. That's actually what got me to buy the series. I was looking at the back of the DVD camera like, is that black? Is that black guy? Is that black? Buy it. Bob Makihara, awesome. Where if you read the manga, literally at one point one of the characters tells him, what makes you so awesome is because you're black and you're powerful. Dead serious. This is a line they say in the manga. It's great. Yeah. The other thing about this series is, I will tell you right now, most of the series, I counted at least half of the series is a flashback. And it sucks. It's like, that's the best part of the series. Like, Shin Natsume, favorite character from the series, also what made me start liking Liam O'Brien a lot. Like, flashback. All it is flashback. It's really good. All the characters are really detailed. They're really given like a lot of depth. They're developed really well. But definitely, I recommend this. I do recommend reading the manga. Air Gear also goes to places. At one point, President Omaha is introduced in the manga. He gets body swap with another chick. Like, what? But yeah, Air Gear with their magical skates. There's different roads. They're following Icky. He's trying to become the best and basically kind of low-key bring back Sleeping Forest, which is the whole thing, and kind of just goes from there. Manga, like I said, definitely goes places. There's a lot happening. I definitely recommend that. What's the button? I do have more in this panel. I can show you if you want to talk to me after that. Like I said, I usually have more time. We're just going to skip ahead. I have Bossera. I did actually mention this. I do have this. I was going to show a clip. I actually showed the older version of this panel because I was supposed to start with this. I love Basra to death. That's why my name is Date Masamune. This came out when I was in college. I fell in love. But yes, definitely there's honorable mentions I have because we're doing the old version. Yes, Black Lagoon because for a while we did not have the Roberta arc in the U.S. for the longest time, and then we finally got it. Yes. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. They had that on like Toonami, Cartoon Network at some point, but I have all of these. Yes, please get my business cards. Like I said, I usually have 90 minutes for this panel. There's a lot of series that I know are older because I don't keep up with stuff as much because I work. And I'm actually in Artist Alley, so I have to dip early just to do this. So I just work. I have a full-time job in Artist Alley, so yeah. But I know a lot of the old shit. So yeah, definitely if you want to talk to me afterwards, feel free to talk to me afterwards. I have business cards. There's probably things that you wanted to be mentioned that I did mention in this. Like I said, this is actually the old version of this. Thank you for coming. You've been a great audience, and I hope you have a great con. Have fun.